Monster Jam is in sunny California as Arena Championship Series East finishes off their 2024 tour in Salinas, California. The Salinas Sports Complex hosts the final stop on this tour for these 8 drivers. They have been stuck in small arenas all season long, and now today they have the ability to really fly in Salinas, California. All these drivers are so excited to finally play on a bigger playground, and we will find out who is going to take home the hardware next on Monster Jam.
Hello everybody and welcome.
Hello everybody and welcome. Hello everybody and welcome.
Oh boy! Oh yeah!
Hello everybody and welcome to the final stop of the 2024 season for Arena Championship Series East. I am the Arizona Motorsports Junkie, and tonight we have 8 competitors ready to tear up the track in Salinas, California. This is always one of the top events of the year. Everyone is always so excited for Salinas. It's a very coveted event. Only one tour gets to go here, and everyone at the beginning of the year always wonders who's going to get to finish their season in Salinas, California. Well, this year it's Arena Championship Series East, and let's meet the 8 drivers who will be competing today. We started off with Kurt Kramer in the legendary Rammunition, a member of Hall Brothers Racing. We also have the monster truck legend Chad Tingler driving Overboard. Angelina Knock, in her first year competing, is driving Megalodon, the biggest floor she's ever competed on. Mark Hall, a monster truck legend, has been competing for over 25 years in Raminator. Tony Oakes is driving Dragon, filling in for Cody Saucier. Zach Garner, who would go on to win the racing championship this year, is in Wildside. Kristen Anderson, representing her father's name in Gravedigger, and Armando Castro, who would become the Arena Series champion in El Toro Loco. Now this is a big event for these drivers as they are driving on a bigger floor. It's Chicago-style racing. In the first race of the night, we have Angelina Knock in Megalodon taking on Kurt Kramer in Rammunition. Now Angelina Knock has never been on a track this big, already with some mistakes here in the first race. Kurt Kramer pulling away in Rammunition, who got his first racing win in his Monster Jam career earlier this year, and he's got a round 1 win here in Salinas. Angelina Knock, though, didn't look too bad. I'm sure she is just trying to feel out a bigger floor and loving the fact that she gets to drive with all this room. But Kurt Kramer taking home a big win here in round number 1. The next race here in round 1, we have Mark Hall in Raminator taking on Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Don't count Mark Hall out. This is a very powerful Ram truck, but he is losing by a good bit here to El Toro Loco, who makes a mistake. Armando had it in the bag, and Raminator's your winner. What happened to Armando Castro? He just needed to finish the race. It shouldn't be a difficult track for him. Man, Armando has some of the most stadium driving experience on this tour today, but he could not get it done, and Mark Hall will advance with a little bit of steam coming out of the truck. Now here in the next race, we have Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger taking on Zach Garner in Wildside. Zach Garner, a fantastic racer. Kristen Anderson, not known for her racing abilities. So honestly, I would say Zach Garner is favored here in this race. And obviously, as we know now, he would go on to win the World Racing Championship this year, just a couple weeks after this event. Matter of fact, I think it was exactly 1 week after this event. But right now he's losing, and the motor doesn't sound good on Wildside. That thing sounds disgusting right now. But Gravedigger with a disgusting turn, and Wildside is your winner. 2 drivers, veterans, had the lead, screwed it up in the final turn and lost the race. Wildside will advance with that definitely disgusting sounding motor, and we'll see if that thing can manage to putt its way through the rest of the competition. Now this next race is a matchup of Monster Jam veterans, Chad Tingler in Overboard, and Cody Saucier in Dragon, as they will go head-to-head in the third race of round number 1. These guys have both been racing for a long time, but Cody Saucier, one of the elite racers in the sport, neck and neck, going to the final turn. Can Chad Tingler get it done? Not looking smooth. This turn has hurt a lot of drivers. And Cody Saucier sailing over the final jump. The Dragon goes flying in to the next round with a victory. Cody Saucier looking very smooth here in round 1. Those racing ramps look very steep here for some reason. I don't know why that is, but they look a lot steeper than they normally do. I hear my boy Ray Villarreal, the host for this tour, good buddy of mine. I spent a lot of time on this tour this year. Actually, spent 3 weekends with them throughout the year. I've really grown close to a lot of these drivers, call a lot of them my friends. Very cool to be doing a commentary on them. That's why I wanted to do them as the first Arena Series commentary of 2024, because quite honestly, I really know a lot of these drivers very, very well, and I'm really excited to do a commentary for them today. I also realized I was calling him Cody Saucier. That's Tony Oaks, and I'm an idiot. So that's, you know, whatever. I even introduced him in the lineups, but my dumb brain just completely forgot and called him Cody Saucier the entire last race, and that's because I'm a doofus. So here's Tony Oaks and Dragon taking on Zach Garner and Wildside. I am really such a bozo sometimes. Looks like there's either no lighting system or it's gone down, because it looks like our tech officials are going to be waving their green flags for the drivers here. I didn't notice that in round 1. That might be, I can't tell who that is on the near side. Might be my boy Luke Clark, but I couldn't tell you. So Tony Oaks and Zach Garner going head-to-head. And, wow, Zach Garner clipped the turning bump, but it didn't slow him down at all. And, in fact, he's got a small lead. Dragon did not land very well after that jump. Who's it going to be? Zach Garner looking strong, and Zach Garner with another win. The motor does not sound good or nearly close to 100%, but Wildside is advancing into the next round here in Salinas. Woo, that thing just sounds horrible. But he's moving on to the final round, and he's got a chance of winning it today, and he'll take on one of the members of Hall Brothers Racing. It's either Mark Hall and Raminator or Kurt Kramer and Ramunition. So Mark Hall, who was able to win that last round race because of a mistake by his opponent, Armando Castro, he has now got a chance of moving on to the final round, but Kurt Kramer would love nothing more than to go to the final round too. Both of them looking good, but Kurt with the mistake in the end, and Mark Hall will advance in the Raminator truck. So Mark Hall is moving on to the final round, and we've got an all-independent battle here in the final round of racing.
Face to face.
So let's see who will take home the crown tonight in Salinas, the only event in Salinas in 2024. Mark Hall and Raminator taking on Zach Garner and Wildside, and Mark Hall got left of the line. It was not the tech official's fault. I saw the green flag. Mark Hall didn't. That's going to probably cost him the race. Zach Garner with a bum motor is out here. Oh no, I think the bum motor gave out. Oh no, what happened? Up, he's back going, and he's won the race. So Zach Garner, with probably 80% or less motor function, somehow has won the race, and Wildside is your winner tonight in Salinas, California, and racing. Now, there will be 4 competitions today. It's not a stadium event, still arenas. So Zach Garner's taking the first of 4 and the first 8 points on the road to the overall event championship. Now, the next competition of the day is the Great Clip Skills Challenge. They can do either 2 moves on 2 wheels or 1 donut. And we saw none of the first move for Megalodon. Great. Fantastic filming job. Wow. That's comical. Honestly, it's comical. So Angelina has not really been too great in the skills challenge this year. She's tried to do a lot of different moves, but she's really took a long time to develop. She does sky wheelies very well, but she's been working on poppers and other things. Looks like she's going to try that here. Let's see if she can nail it. Tough move. Ooh, all right. Well, I mean, she needed to hit the brakes a little bit sooner, but not a bad run from Megalodon. The score will be a 3.627. Next up is your series champion in 2024, Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Now, Armando Castro here in El Toro Loco would eventually go on to become the world 2 two-wheel skills champion at the Monster Jam World Finals in California. Some of you might remember that. If you didn't watch that commentary and you're watching this, well, quite frankly, what are you doing? You've got to go and watch the 2024 World Finals commentary. There was so much that happened. It was so much fun, and my reaction to what this man did was incredible. He's doing a popper right now, and a very good one. He has the smoke blowing, which is always a fun sight. The fans love it. In Salinas, California, going to be a lot of El Toro Loco fans out there as well. So we'll see if the numbers are a little bit higher than we would expect for this truck here today. Good job, danced it on the top of the pod, barely needed a move, and that's just one move in the books. He's got one move left, so he's setting himself up nicely to take a lead, obviously, and even a win in this competition. Looks like they've got an 8-pack backflip over there on the other side of the racing lane. That's snazzy. Armando going for the second move, using the arena pod that he's done so many times. I mean, these drivers are primarily going to stick to the moves that they've done all year. I don't anticipate seeing many bicycles and such, because these guys have done moves on that pod all year. This is a crisp moonwalk here from Armando Castro, I must say. This is nice. There's a reason why this guy would go on to become a world champion in this competition. It's because he's one of the best, and I can't wait to see what he does next year with that title now as a part of his name. Amazing run from El Toro Loco. It's a 9.662, and that is a huge number here in the Great Clips two-wheel skills challenge, but it's well-deserved for one of the best at the craft. Next competitor is Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. We're already in the middle of the move. Again, El Videographer here. Really disappointing. Very good move, though. I don't want to throw any shade at him, though. I mean, I'm glad he's recording the video. I appreciate that. But if you're going to record the event, you know, let's get all the moves in there. Going for another reverse popper. Good job. Trying to do the tombstone. All right, she sat it for a moment. Now she's kind of in no man's land. Got to walk it. Oh, my. How did she get that thing back up? Well, that was a good second move from Gravedigger. Good run. I don't think it's going to be... Oh, look, there's Andrew Castagna. Hello. There he is. That's the tour manager right there, Andrew Castagna. Good to see you, sir. On the bottom left of your screen. Hi. There's Kristen Anderson, too. Not enough for the lead. 8.678. Well, I guess Castagna's just going to chill right there in our way. I love that. I get a Castagna cam in the commentary. Oh, that's fantastic. Overboard going with a reverse popper. Something looked weird about that. He might have a broken axle in the back end, the way it twisted when he hit the throttle. Going for a sky wheelie. Whoa! Well, that was a lot further than I think Chad Tingler would have liked to rotate it, and that was a really big move. It's a 6.942 for Chad Tingler in Overboard, and that is going to require quite the recovery. As Zach Garner and Wildside comes out next, the motor is still sounding disgusting. Thankfully, though, we all know that the motor worked perfectly fine when it mattered most at the Monster Jam World Finals. So, we've got full-blown Castagna cam here in this commentary today. So here's Zach Garner and Wildside lining up for the logs. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a popper here. All right, good popper. Oh my God, the motor's sounding nasty as it has been all day. Ha! No, save it. Oh my God, reverse sidewall. Are you kidding me? Zach Garner with an unbelievable save. He already won racing, and now he just did the twist of a century, going for a bicycle now. On the sidewalls again! Please save it! I have no idea what is happening! You have gotta be kidding me! Zach Garner just did the greatest skills run I think I've ever seen. Well, it's a 9.477. And I don't care that he didn't win. That was the greatest thing I have seen all year long. Oh my God, that was genuinely the best skills run of the year. That was phenomenal.
9.4.
Oh, you fans stink for that score. Stink, 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 stink. That is, oh, I'm heated. Here's Kurt Kramer and Rammunition. Wow. Going for a popper. Way to go, Kurt Kramer. I love it when Kurt Kramer does exciting things. He's my favorite driver in the entire world. Let it be known. He did a sky wheelie, and we missed it.
Wow. That was bad.
But that's okay. 3.935. Here's Mark Hall and Ramini. Mark Hall going to try a reverse popper?
Sorry.
Yeah, he should be sorry. Reverse popper. Oh, he couldn't hit the brakes at all, so we just drove down the ramp. But that is one attempt for the Raminator truck. Go for a sky wheelie! Loving those logs. Whoever put those logs in there, fantastic job. Decent run for Raminator. It's a 5.132. And now we have Tony Oakes in Dragon. And it looked like he tried a slap wheelie. I don't know why he tried it off the racing lane. That was not a great idea, and it didn't work well in the slightest. Going for one more move. Is he going to try it on the other racing lane? It didn't work the first time. He's able to get a little one on the second try, but he didn't really learn too much and try the other ramp. So that's going to be a 6.122.
That was it?
So that's the end of the run for Dragon. And that's also the end of the run and the end of the skills challenge, which means that Armando Castro is your winner. And no offense to Armando, he had a very good run, but that was nowhere near as good as what Zach Garner did. We're going to watch what Zach Garner did again because that was fantastic. So let's watch this one more time. The first move, he's dead in the water. I thought he was shut off. No, we're going to get a reverse sidewall save from Zach Garner. That's crazy. Then he's on the bicycle. I thought he was going to save it there. Nope, he's lost it. He's over throttling, and then he just decides to pull out a Tom Mentz save. I mean, Zach Garner just channeled his inner Tom Mentz. That was amazing. And now it's time for the donut competition. I was debating cutting it out because, you know, it's donuts, but it's okay. We're going to start off with Angelina Knock and Megalodon, and she did a half a revolution, and she's done. So that's a 3.907. So here is Chad Tingler in Overboard. Now in the donut competition, you can go out there and whip a donut. There is a revolution limit depending on the venue and how thick the dirt is. So we'll see how long they're allowed to run it. Chad Tingler, oh no, it seems like I definitely think he's got a broken axle or something. Another pretty disappointing donut, 4.630. Now here's Zach Garner, the king of the wow moment, and apparently the king of Salinas today, who has only won one competition but has stolen the hearts of everyone. The motor still sounds like a dying moose, and Wildside gets another disgusting donut, 6.633. This has been the worst donut competition I've seen in my entire life. Here's Kurt Kramer Rammunition. Come on, Kurt, the blue Rammunition. Let's see a good donut. It's looking better. That's the best one we've had so far today. He's still going. Way to go, Kurt. Best donut of the day, and it's a 7.960. Here's Tony Oakes in Dragon, who I miscalled Cody Socian Racing after announcing him as Tony Oakes in the lineups because I'm a bozo trying to do a donut. Now, Tony Oakes can do some killer donuts here. Tony Oakes, good for a good donut. Whipping a good donut. That's obviously the best we've seen today. Getting some nice speed, some nice revolutions. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do a donut, and it's a 9.214. Still got a couple competitors left, including this man, Armando Castro, the El Toro Loco. Armando, pretty good donutter. That's one of the reasons why he was able to win this series, because he's pretty consistent in the donuts. He doesn't win the donut competition all the time. That is really where Kristen Anderson makes her money, but Armando is very consistent. He typically finishes in the top 3 or 4. It helps that he's driving such a popular truck. The other thing that helps, which I'm sure he's going to do it in a moment here, is blow the smoke out the nose, which he's not, so that's great. The one time that I call out that he probably is going to blow the smoke out of the nose, he doesn't. I mean, but it doesn't change the fact that this is an amazing donut. Look at the Cyclone spinning even after he hit the brakes. And it's your new leader at a 9.415, El Toro Loco. Now in the top spot. There's 2 more trucks to go. We have Raminator, Mark Hall, the first of the final 2. Mark Hall, this guy can whip a donut, I'll tell ya. Mark Hall's got a couple donut wins on the year and quite a few in his career, and this guy with the horsepower in this truck can absolutely unleash some wicked donuts. Well, he's not whipping out a wicked donut, but he's getting it going, and once Mark Hall gets spinning, he spins a little bit faster, just like that. There you go. Good donut for Mark Hall. It's not enough, though. 8.368, but still, very good donut. They've resurrected the donut competition after the first 3 stinkers. And now here is Gravedigger Kristen Anderson. So it's either El Toro Loco wins it or Gravedigger wins it. The two most legendary Feld, well, no, Max D is probably just as legendary. I don't know, you can debate that El Toro Loco is a more well-known name in the Monster Jam world. No, I love Max D, but the casual fan. Doesn't even look like she has rear steer, but she's still doing a donut somehow. She's on the sidewalls in a bicycle? Alrighty then! Kristen Anderson deciding to throw a bicycle into her donut. It helps her win the donut competition with a 9.486. Gravedigger has taken it home and will lead us to freestyle time. And now starting off, the final competition of the day, Monster Jam Freestyle. It's Tony Oaks and the fire-breathing dragon. He's off. I don't know how much time they're going to have. It'll probably be 90 seconds if I had to guess. I don't believe they get full 2 minutes on the clock. I'll have a better answer for you here in between 1 minute and 2 minutes as long as Tony Oaks doesn't flip over. Now, there is an 8-pack backflip out there, and there will probably only be one back flipper. So we will see who that will be. Maybe it'll be Tony Oaks. Tony Oaks doesn't get a chance to drive at the big stadium levels really at all. Nice little moonwalk. So it's cool for him to get to drive in this building, and Dragon obviously filling in the Dragon truck. Cody Saucier went to drive Max D on the stadium tour, so they needed a couple drivers to do it. Joe Dennis filled in a few weekends, and now Tony Oaks here in Salinas. But Tony has driven in stadiums before. Some of you might remember, not all of you, because this goes a little back. It's going to date, not going to date me a lot, but going back to 2017, matter of fact, the very first commentary I ever did, Tony Oaks drove the Punisher truck at Houston in 2017 in the fall. It was a very legendary event, and Tony drove that Punisher truck a couple times. I thought a lot of people, including myself, thought he was going to get some more stadium chances. That never came around, and he's really become a career arena driver, so I'm glad to see him get a chance to fly the Dragon a little bit here today. This is a pretty solid freestyle, and obviously on a track like this, you want to have someone come out and set the bar. Tony Oaks is the perfect man to lead off this freestyle competition because you want to have someone who could put down a solid mid-7 freestyle, and that's what we're getting right now from Tony Oaks. This is definitely a very good run. Nice air using that racing lane. There's a lot of room for big air, and I want to see these arena drivers go big. This is the biggest floor they've been on all year by probably 2 to 3 times. So I want to see how risky they're willing to be and how big they're willing to go, because this is a chance to do it. It also seems like we're getting a full 2-minute freestyle here, which is pretty cool. We'll see how many drivers really use those 2 minutes to the fullest, but Tony Oaks is definitely doing that. This has been a full run so far. I think he's going to stop it right there. That was a great run. And honestly, Tony Oaks getting a very, very solid number with a 6.815 to start the day. Without a backflip, I mean, that's pretty good. It definitely could have been better, and I feel like the number could have been better, but thank you, Ray. I appreciate you, as always. So that is the first competitor. Now here's Rammunition. This is Kurt Kramer. My good friend, Kurt Kramer. Now, Kurt, love him to death. He is not the best of freestylers. He's still trying to learn, still trying to get the chance to compete at a higher level because he doesn't get to drive in the stadiums all too often. So you know Kurt wants to really show off what he's capable of in front of these fans. Wanted to let you enjoy the natural monster truck sounds for a moment. I mean, there's something so cool. I mean, I know, we all miss the zoomies. So do I. But it doesn't change the fact that monster trucks, they still sound so good. Just listen to it. And while Kurt's isn't necessarily sounding the greatest today, I know that this motor sounds a little bit off. As you can see in the pits there, overboard getting worked on, so it does look like he had a broken axle. Looks like they're trying to fix that for freestyle. Just had to take a bit of an aside there. But Kurt Kramer, freestyling, that is what he is doing right now. I love him. Big Kurt Kramer fan. You know, I was actually there when he won his first ever racing competition of his Monster Jam career. I was there this year. It was in, I think it was in Tupelo, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it was definitely in Tupelo. So very, very exciting. And I was happy to be there. I was happy to be the one who, I didn't get to make the call because I wasn't standing on the finish line. But Andrew Castagna right there made the call because he was on the line for me. Radioed over to me, said winner's Kurt Kramer, and I let our hosts know, and the hosts announced it, and it became official. Kurt Kramer was the official racing winner for the first time in his career. We had all been waiting. I've been waiting for Kurt Kramer to win racing. I was on tour with him all year last year, and now this year getting to see him a few times was so special to be able to see that. And it's a 739. Now, unfortunately, Overboard, the efforts were not good enough. He's not going to be able to come out in this competition at all, which is too bad because you know Chad Tingler would have loved to perform in front of these fans here in Salinas. But next up is Angelina Knock in Megalodon. And Angelina is definitely looking to get a big freestyle here because she has not gotten a drive on a floor this big and already airing it out in freestyle. She has mentioned many times how she wants to be on a bigger floor because the small confines of those arenas that she's in are very difficult to drive, and especially for a young driver, it can be a little bit taunting because you don't want to hit the wall, you don't want to mess up, and now she has a chance to really air it out, and so far, those first two moves have been pretty good. She's gotten some pretty nice air. I definitely feel like Angelina has a bright future if she can really take... I mean, the fact that this run is already looking very good. Nice air! Hard landing, too. I've seen shades of potential greatness from Angelina Knock in her young career. She is not afraid. She is fearless. That is something that she is always touting, and wow! The air in this run is quite surprising and very impressive. Whenever we announce Angelina Knock at the events, we always say she is a member of a family of daredevils, so it's pretty clear that she loves to get big air and she loves to fly. So I think that if she really gets more comfortable in the truck, we could see a very dangerous driver at a certain level. But she's very lost right now on the track. She has no idea. She has not hit anything in about 25 seconds. Big air on the sky wheelie. That's an awkward landing. I think they shut her off because she definitely looked like she broke something.
Alright, not bad.
That was a pretty good run for Megalodon, and at the end of the day, very, very impressed with the performance, and I'm sure Angelina will get many more chances at bigger floors. And when she does that, I'm intrigued to see how she can end up performing. And it's your new leader with a 7.774. So now your fourth competitor out here in freestyle, the black and green wrecking machine, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. Kristen Anderson, another driver who does not get to compete at the stadium level much at all. She has driven at the stadium level before, though. I will tell you, Kristen Anderson has the ability to be a very good freestyler at the stadium level. While some of you might not see the success on the record books, she does have the ability, and quite honestly, she's told me before that the arenas, she goes out there and tries to be as consistent as she can, but in the stadium, she wants to really rip it up. So we'll see if this can be a good event for her and a good freestyle for her here in Salinas. And for someone like Kristen Anderson, who, as I said, doesn't get many stadium opportunities, this is a chance for her to really show what she's made of. One of the few events of the year that she'll get to drive on a bigger floor. Last year, she got the chance to drive in Fargo as well as Tacoma, but this year, not a single stop with big floors on this series. Arena Series West is the only one that gets Fargo and Tacoma. Arena Series Central gets nothing, and Arena Series East gets Salinas. So at least some of these arena drivers got a chance to air it out. I feel bad for Arena Central, though, because they don't get anything. They just got to be holed up in arenas all year long, never seeing the light of day, ever. That's another thing for these drivers. They get a chance to drive in the daytime. They drive without a roof over their heads, which is something that they're not used to either. That's a completely different set of driving and a completely different mindset you have to have. Looks like she's lining up for the 8-pack backflip that's over there. We'll see how well it's built. We'll see if she can land the backflip. Here she goes. Very solid. Kristen Anderson has done so many backflips. She is so used to that 8-pack backflip. Landed it perfectly. You always got to be a little careful in a building like this because it's not your standard arena pod, so it's a completely different ramp. It's built a little bit differently. You never know how it's going to react. Glad to see that the Dirt Crew was able to build it right, and we got a good backflip here today, and Kristen Anderson really nailed it. Nice air using those logs. It's pretty funny, though, because Angelina Knock, who came out just before, was getting a little bit bigger air, and Kristen has not really had that air, but obviously she has the wow moment that we saw from the backflip, which will likely carry her number. But at the end of the day, not the greatest of freestyle runs. Not bad, good freestyle, and obviously the backflip, the wow moment in there, and it's a 9.382 as Gravedigger will take the lead here in Salinas. Man, the fans giving their stomps. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about the speedways that I missed, and I do miss these days, is the stomping of the bleachers whenever a big moment would happen. That is something that is so cool. And I love that because it's just like the fans get to show their appreciation in a different way than just clapping. You know, you hear those stomps and the rumbling. It's like, oh, that's fun. The fans liked me. So here's Mark Hall in the Raminator. Going for a donut. Mark Hall, your 5th truck out, and starting with a donut is always something that I like to see from drivers. I love it when drivers do something unique to start off their run. It's something that Cam McQueen used to do all the time, that he would go out there and he would always make his first move something that no one had done. And I like that Mark Hall did that. Doing a donut, nobody has started with a donut. Matter of fact, nobody has even done a donut freestyle so far, so it starts your time with something unique and it changes the look of freestyle. It gets boring when everyone's just jumping and not really getting any wow moments, so Mark Hall changing up the pace a little bit. Nice job using the other. Oh no. He used the opposite side of the 8-pack backflip and it broke that front left wheel. Raminator is done. Too bad. 6.323. Unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. There's only 2 drivers left, and Wildside is up next, who has been absolutely amazing today. And while the motor has sounded like a dying moose, it doesn't change the fact that Zach Garner has had a racing win and the greatest skills run we have had in the entirety of 2024. And when I make that statement of the greatest skills run of 2024, I'm including stadiums in that. So, yeah, take that, stadium drivers. Zach Garner did better than all of you. Well, the motor sounds a lot better now. I don't know why, but that's nice. So you know what that means? We get a full-blown Zach Garner freestyle, which I love. I love watching Zach Garner freestyle. This kid, let me tell you, Wildside is going to be making headlines for a long time, and if he stays in this sport, Zach Garner is probably going to win more than just one world championship and is going to be one of the most well-renowned drivers in this sport because I love watching him drive. He can race, he can freestyle, he can do 2-wheel moves. This kid has the potential to be a top 5 driver in this sport, and he is flying in Salinas so far. This is a great start to the run. Now, we all know it won't happen, but obviously, if you have a better run than the driver who did the backflip, you might be able to grab a win, and Zach Garner is certainly having a better run altogether. This is really great. I don't even think we're a minute in. Going for the racing lane now. This is full send central. Zach Garner is really displaying why he is a World Finals champion. And while it isn't in freestyle, is he going to go for the 8-pack too? Oh, Zach Garner! Whoa! On the bottom of your screen? Oh, man, if they left him on, he might have had a chance to save that thing. Unfortunately, Wildside is done there. Flipped her over. But that was a good run. I think the unfortunate thing is he has no chance of winning because he didn't even come close to filling the clock there. And he will not with an 8.508, which is too bad. Because honestly, it was a really, really good run, and I still am so excited to see the future of Zach Garner. Between Zach Garner and John Zimmer Jr., the future of Monster Jam from second generation drivers is in such great hands, and I cannot wait to see what they can do. There's some boos in the crowd because they thought that Zach Garner deserved to take the lead, and quite honestly, that's pretty impressive considering how low the score was compared to Gravedigger. So now the final competitor of the day. This is Armando Castro, El Toro Loco.
It's gonna be crazy.
Now this is obviously going a little bit back in time. We're in the beginning of May here with this event, but I obviously have to reference how good Armando Castro was in the 3 summer stadium events that he did after this event and after the World Finals. So I'm excited to see what this run is, because it probably will end up being foreshadowing for what those events were, which is ironic because I don't know what to call it. Do we call it backshadowing? I don't know. Maybe 5-shadowing? I don't know. I mean, it's where we saw the result. I don't know what the foreshadowing is. So we'll see if this is a good run. I already am loving the pace of Armando Castro, and I've hit on it a lot this summer. He has turned into a really good freestyler, and this is before he won the World Championship, but it's after he won the Series Championship. So he already got that monkey off of his back and already established himself. So I feel like there's got to be a weight lifted off his shoulders in this event. It's kind of showing in the way that he's been driving. We'll see if the... Oh no, why is the truck not moving? Looks like they're trying to refire him. You could see one of the tech officials in the pits, and they've got him going. I was going to say, that would be a terrible way to end. He was going good, and it looks like the truck is okay. The problem is that completely disrupts all momentum you have, and it makes the fans kind of forget what you did in the beginning of the run. It's a tale as old as time. You get shut off in your run, and your momentum disappears, and it tends to lower your score. So you really have to finish the run very strong. But the great thing that I'm seeing is that he is so far. The pace has picked up even more. Heavy air on that one. Armando Castro showing signs of what we will end up seeing over the summer in the stadium events, and I love that. Going for the APAC jump. Oh my God, he cleared the top of the building on that, and he broke the back right wheel off, but you've got to be kidding me. That was insane air to end the day, and a great way to end off a very awesome event in Salinas, California. It's an 8.694.
8.6.
Yeah!
I didn't predict that, I just read it. But good job, Ray. Wanted to hear Ray announce it. So your freestyle winner is Gravedigger, driven by Kristen Anderson. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't entirely disagree with that. I think Armando's run was right around the same, but obviously not doing a backflip and not filling the clock kind of hurt him. But your overall event champion with the higher freestyle number, breaking the tie with El Toro Loco, is Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger as well. So she takes home the last 2 big prizes of the day. And we'll end off our commentary here in Salinas, California. Thank you so much for watching. This is the beginning of the arena commentaries. I'm trying to get all 3 arena series in there. So next up, you can look forward to an Arena Championship Series Central commentary, and then we'll get out to Arena Championship Series West. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.